live on Facebook now. It shows it on the screen.
Does it?
Yep, it's happening.
Awesome. Okay, super cool. Well, now I think I'm able to see comments.
Okay.
So if anybody has any comments, please do it now so I can see that you're watching. So welcome to our very first Leadership Live, where we get to ask our very own Net 2.0 market location leaders a bunch of questions. So, and if you have anything that you want to ask, please go ahead and feel free to put it in the comments. I think that would be awesome. But we are here today with our very own Chrystina Nguyen. Yay! I'm super happy that you are launching us off into this wonderful little series. A little bit about Chrystina that I know of. I just had to I couldn't remember exactly the person that introduced us, but it was Mark Moore. So Mark Moore, if you see this, thank you very much. Chrystina was meeting with Mark in Ridgetop Coffee and Tea, which we all love and hope their business is flying right now. But that was about a year and a half ago, I want to say, right? Maybe 2 years, almost a year and a half.
March actually of last year.
What was awesome was that you had platinum blonde hair when we first met, like white, like platinum blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw you the next week for our one-to-one because we had scheduled it pretty quickly, and you had bright pink hair on.
Yeah, I liked my pink season.
And I was looking for the white hair, and there you are with the pink. And I was like, what's going on? Oh, Becky's saying hi. Hi, Becky. Up Church is there. Matthew, hey, good to have you guys on. So this is super exciting. So again, I'm here with Chrystina Nguyen. She's part of the Ashburn Market Leaders, and she's unique because she's actually been a part of the Manassas Market Leader crew before she switched over to Ashburn. So we want to thank you for all of that, for sure. You have a very unique perspective because you've been a leader for two groups now.
Mm-hmm.
But I just kind of want to launch it off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you do for a living, what your favorite fun activity is for you on like a personal note.
Sure. I'm a business development lead for Rhythmic Technologies. Been doing that since May of last year, or essentially since May of last year. I did a bit of dabbling of networking prior to that, and now have become this networking ninja. Shout out to Joff there. Um, and it's been really cool to be a part of the technology space. I came from restaurant industry. Prior to that, did 10 years working at Clyde's Restaurant Group. So I love spreadsheets, food, and good manners. But yes, it's been really an interesting journey to come into the tech space. I was very hesitant to, and since then it's been very welcoming. I don't regret a day of it. A little bit of things that I'm doing in quarantine to keep sane is I'm watching a lot of anime. And just the anime buildup is really great. It's really entertaining shows that I've been watching lately, and I'm gonna start dabbling into some gardening, and I paint. So those are some
Really?
off the cuff activities that I do
That you
to
painted
keep myself
recently
sane.
by to you?
I'm sorry.
Do you have anything that you painted recently, like close by to you that we can see?
It's a surprise, and I don't have anything close by me, but I have painted things that I have in the house. I'm really good at galaxies and little like forest ideas. But
Okay.
right now, I'm working on a paint by numbers gift for my husband right now. And I can't say it because he may or may not be listening to it, but it's really cool. Lots of colors, but those paint by number things are super fun to do during quarantine. And if you get a really colorful one, it's quite tedious.
Yeah. Have you seen the ones that are, it's sort of like a paint by numbers, but it's with gems? And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, those are pretty fantastic. I love that.
I have one. I have one in my Amazon cart that's like a skull diamond.
Oh, cool.
So once I'm done with this painting that I have, I'm going to move on to that one.
Nice. I love it. All right. Well, and we already know that you've been networking for a year and just 3 months now.
Mhm.
Like, because when I met you with Mark, you said that was your very first. one-to-one.
Yes.
Can you, I don't know if you guys know Christina, like seriously, like she seems like she's been out here forever, right? Like I I know I think that. Um, so you've done a fantastic job with being able to network and build those relationships really quickly. I think it's just the personality that you have. I think the love of people is just like in you, and I think people feed off that energy. So that's really really special characteristics that you have.
Thank you.
Yeah. When you decided to join Net 2.0, what made you want to join as a member? Because we weren't even talking about leadership. You just said, I want to join
Hmm.
Net 2.0. And then you started coming, but I mean, rhythmic technologies, it's not the first choice, I think, for them to be a part of a networking group like this. So
Hmm.
what made you go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and join?
Yeah. Great question. So I had heard a lot about Net 2.0 prior, and I've talked to you a few times prior to that, and I actually have never attended any of the Net 2.0 groups until July. And the very first one I attended was Leesburg, which was the second location. And to my very surprise, I've heard so many great things, and to sit in the room at Leesburg and have Chris, Colleen, and Bobby do their thing, and seeing that the engagement and kind of welcoming group that you guys had, I was like, oh shoot, I could do this. Like, this is pretty neat. Now, you're absolutely right. Rhythmic technologies, and I say this, to be honest, there's really no place for a technology company to have Net 2.0 be the first choice for them. But luckily, I am blessed with a really great boss and company that they've given me the creative freedom to do what I can. So one of the proposed activities at work was, if you guys want to do something that's a pet project of yours, take 20% out of your day to do it. I'm like, okay, sure. So with that, I was like, I'm going to make Net 2.0 my 20% pet project, so to speak. And it feeds my soul. So I told them that when I started, and now that I'm a leader, it definitely continues to feed my soul. I love what I do within the group and the content and everybody that shows up. And I might not get direct business, so to speak, for kind of the IT jobs that we do, but have I made a lot of connections and gotten great conversations with folks that in our as members know other folks in that space. So what I understand is, when they think of technology or blue haired girl or AWS, I imagine the members in Net 2.0 think of me, which that's more than enough connections there to be had.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. And I love that you said about what you said about the relationships and building those, and that
Mm-hmm.
it feeds your soul. Like it's a positive place to be, which actually you started to talk about it, but what made you decide that not only were you going to be a member, but when I approached you about leadership, let's get some more responsibility. And now you've helped us with happy hours, which you did a fantastic job
Thank you.
putting that together. Like, and that takes time out of your schedule. So what is it then that made you say, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and invest more time and become a leader?
Mm-hmm. Well, the first reason was it was in Manassas, and I live in Manassas. So if I could start my morning and not have to commute, I took on that. So that was like the number one reason. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm already part of this group, and they're making one in Manassas, and Leesburg and Ashburn were very, top notch groups already, and had a really good following. And to bring that type of support networking group to Manassas, which there are great groups in Manassas, but nothing like Net 2.0 on the educational base of things. So yeah, when that was given an opportunity, that just leveled up uh, the 20% pet project I was doing. So it's not so much for I was gaining education and kind of, making great connections and making great relationships, but I was given the opportunity to be seen as a leader. And when I first started, I never spoke. And I remember going to my first speaking engagement, and you were there.
Which was
Um,
fantastic, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. And a lot of the Net 2.0 folks, supported me in that and helped me with tips and things. And
Yeah, and that was the technology. What was the name of that networking group?
it was Rest and Tech Talk.
Red
Uh,
Tech Talk. That was awesome. Yeah, you did fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. It was quite an experience. I know I had like company cookies on the table and we had gift cards from Clyde. So it was a very well-rounded, like if I was going to do a speaking engagement for the first time, like that's how I would want to do it.
Right?
Yeah, and there was so many people showed up. It was so great. And since then, like what Net 2.0 has given me the opportunity to do is I'm considered a speaker now. And to be able to have that as a tagline on my LinkedIn page was something like I wanted to do. And now I have like 3 presentations that are Net 2.0 worthy in the pocket. And, the second, I think it was Leesburg or Fairfax, that had invited me out to do my networking games presentation there, or I think my goal setting one of those. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm getting invited to be a speaker for another group.
That's so amazing. And I want to remind people she's only been networking for a year. Like talk about delving in, right? And I also want to mention, and first of all, Alexis says hi. So hi Alexis, we see you. But I also wanted to make mention, like, I love networking, and listen, I love it when people talk very highly of Net 2.0. There are so many amazing networking groups out there. And when you said in Manassas, like the first thing that came to mind was 1 Million Cups. I know that's a fantastic group. I love
Great
that.
group.
I used to go to the one in Leesburg.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just so many networking groups out there. And I've preached this before and I'll preach it until I'm dead. I love all networking groups, and I think they're just like diet plans. They all work. You just have to find one that works for you or a couple. And so for me, it's like one of the things about networking is building those relationships. And today in the group this morning, we talked about what is your favorite thing about networking. And a couple of the things that people said were life is about people.
That's
I thought was super powerful. It gave me a place to belong,
mm,
and it increased my confidence. Like when you think about, a lot of people kind of get sweaty palms when they think about networking because it's like there's so much pressure to be perfect.
mm-hmm.
And I think one of the great things about our networking organization, as well as several other out there,
Mm-hmm.
find one that uplifts your soul,
Yeah.
right? Find one where you feel like you belong.
Mm-hmm.
Find one that builds your confidence. Because I mean, I can't, like, I'm in awe of you. Like, you are so much better at networking than so many people that have been networking for years, because it is about the relationships and it is about building others up, right? And when you become a leader, sorry, that's my little guy in the back. When you become a leader, you help others to do that. And so I think that's fantastic. So I really encourage people to really figure out what groups are out there close to you virtually. Like they're all in your living room at this point in the game. So there's no excuse for you not to be on something, right?
Yeah.
Tell us, you started to telling us already, like I feel like you never even saw my list of questions, and I feel like you're just prompted into the next one. But it's about the relationship. So can you tell me about some of the relationships that you've built? And you don't have to say names, but just some of the relationships that you've been able to build, what has it done for you? Whether it's been at Net 2.0 or other organizations.
Mm-hmm. I do want to make a comment on what you said earlier about what was presented today and about reasons to network. So I had a one-to-one with an Aaliyah. I'm going to butcher her last name, so I'm just going to call her Aaliyah. But she was showing me a book. I think it was called How to Talk to Men, Geishas versus Gorillas. And one of the things there was there's a chart where you pick an emotion and then there's some mathematical thing and it tells you like what other emotions to help you get out of that bad emotion. So we took an example of loneliness, and the tier to next to mitigate loneliness was community, a sense of belonging, and a sense of confidence. And those 3 things help mitigate loneliness. So,
Right.
especially in this quarantine world, I myself feel lonely. I know I'm not speaking, I know I'm not speaking alone on that. But that's like at this point, networking virtually is just to help me make sure I'm continuing to feel belonged and continue to be a part of the community. which is really cool because I never thought that's like what I was in my mind doing. It just, it's my job, so to speak, to go out networking. But now that we're in this quarantine for much longer than expected, like I need this networking. Like I need to
Yeah.
have this.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of people don't like the virtual aspect of it, but here's the thing. Until you are able to find your people, like find them online and bring them offline. So if you're the type of person that you're still doing coffee dates and you're still out there and you're whatever,
mhm,
then to each his own, like do that, but find other people that you can go have a social distancing coffee together with, because I did that last week and I tell it feeds your soul when you actually are in the same vicinity
mhm,
of a person and talking to them because it's like they have no other choice but to completely be focused on you. I mean,
yeah.
even now, like I'm focused on you, but I'm in my office and there's notes all over my desk. And, you know what I mean? And so I'm not. Sometimes if I don't really concentrate like I am now, like it's hard for me just to concentrate and be
Mhm,
100% in the meeting, right? Because
absolutely.
there's so many other distractions on your desk.
Mhm,
But when you're in face to face, and the only other distraction you have is your cup of coffee. Um, so it really makes a difference. A lot of people have not been showing up to meetings, whether it's mine or others. Attendance for meetups are down everywhere, but you need to be there because you need to combat the loneliness, and a lot of times it's like this pressure of like, oh, I'm super lonely, I feel crappy, I'm not going to log in, I look crappy, I'm not going to, you know what I mean?
mhm,
Just log in, just
yeah.
put your hair up in a ponytail, log in. If you're a dude, slick it back, log in. Like, I don't care,
Mhm,
log in, get connected, find somebody, that can chat with you on a one-to-one, whether it's online or offline.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
your biggest aha moments, story time.
With networking or Net 2.0?
Choose, it doesn't matter, but your biggest aha moment, like in when you started out on this and you're just like what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
My biggest aha moment was my first introduction that somebody sent an introduction to me and wrote up a nice little write up in an email and was like, "You got to talk to Christina." And that was when I was like, "Oh my gosh, somebody wants to talk to me. Somebody is sending somebody to talk to me." And even now, I still get giddy about it. And I'm not sure people still do at this point, but that was really cool. And then the second to that was being asked to be a speaker for another networking group. Those have been some really great emotions, like to be asked to do a speaking engagement. Where a year ago, like if you had asked me while I was working at clients, like would I ever be speaking in front of a group? Would I ever be sitting here doing a live on Facebook? I would be like, no, you're kidding. Why would I do that? I count money. I love spreadsheets. Like I'm good.
I love living in your outside of your comfort zone, right? So living in the uncomfort realm, because when you're living there, you're just growing your muscles and doing new things. And I hear that over and over and over again when people who didn't think they could speak in front of a room, and yet here they are, and they're great speakers like you,
Mhm.
and the confidence that comes with that. And it's just another something to put on your talent spreadsheet, right? Like this is what I've done, this is what I'm going to do. And it makes those things that you want to do that much more attainable because last year from this year how much stuff that you've done that you didn't think you were going to do, but now it's like it's water under the bridge. It's like I can pull out my own presentation and take over this Facebook live and be done with it. And I love that. And I think that's to me that's like the best thing about networking is that you're building those relationships that then build that confidence. Like people want to talk to you, they want to have one-to-ones, they want you to come speak. Like that's fantastic. Those are all great. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
So
no worries.
I know you have we have a hard stop and we only have a few more minutes left, but I did want the last question that I have for you
Sure.
is what challenge would you like to issue to those watching as far as networking? So what would be a challenge, and by the way, Kim Gibson says, well, hi ladies. So hi Kim. So give us the challenge. Like we are all network. Clearly, this is going out live over Net 2.0. So whether they're members of Net 2.0, whether they're just in the group to make connections and figure out what's going on, like what could a challenge be for everybody in the networking realm that you think would be the most helpful?
Okay. This is like a really perfectly timed interview or so whatever, because I was talking about comfort zones yesterday, and somebody was saying, yeah, comfort zones are nice, but nothing grows there.
Right.
So it's like funny how you said that. And I like saw a TikTok that had a bunch of challenges, and I wrote down 10 of them. So I'm not going to read off all 10, but the one that I think would be beneficial for our lovely group would be say 3 positive affirmations before you go to bed for 30 days.
Ooh, I like that. We'll put that in the comments for people. So say three positive affirmations
Mm-hmm.
to yourself for 30 days. Night
Yeah.
or morning, or does it matter?
Night before you go to bed.
Before you go to bed, three positive things. So, even you can even have taken off all your makeup, girl, you're still beautiful, right? So something positive. Uh, I love that. So what are your three? Can I ask that?
Sure. I started it yesterday because I saw this TikTok and I was like, all right, let me try this, but I'm not going to jump into all 10 challenges all at once. Baby steps, you know? So that one I said last night, I was like, you're going to kick ass at this video tomorrow and put on makeup. And that was for this.
Nice.
Second was, you're going to say hi to all the people in Berlin. I had a Berlin networking event earlier today. Um, and just like be kind to that aspect of that. And then the third one was, when you take a shower today, you're going to feel so good. So
Very practical. Very practical. I love it.
the practical ones in there, But yeah, I'm working on better affirmations. I know people talk about affirmations a lot, especially in the morning to like start your day. But I thought it was really cool. The challenge was to say it before you go to bed.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. You have any final thoughts for us? We are wrapping it up at 1:28.
Kick butt out there, everybody, and just network where you can and what's best for you, and give give your networking events a second chance. If you go to one for the first time, you weren't so sure, check it out again. You never know what you find on the second try or even third. And just make it work for you, because you can't do it without, if you're just trying to get by through your networking, it's probably not good. if
Right.
you're there to connect and enjoy and have great conversations and build relationships and be about it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate you and your leadership. And I just would be remiss if I didn't, of course, promote Net 2.0. So if you are interested in coming to Net 2.0, please go to our meetup group. We'll go ahead and put the link in the comments as well. And feel free to join any groups. You have the ability to join a couple of them for free before you have to make a
Lesson Ashburn on Mondays.
She's put shoot out for Ashburn. I got to tell you, each group has their own personality, and I love every single one because they
They're great.
bring it. I mean, it's you'll find one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're new to it, to visit all of them, you'll find one. I promise, because they all bring such a great characteristic that is unique. And
Absolutely.
yeah, love it. Thank you so much. I think we just end the meeting. I'm not really sure how this is gonna work, but I'm gonna end it.
Okay.
And or stop recording or something. Stop live. There it is. So say bye. Thank you guys for joining us, and
Thank you.
join us for the next one. We'll launch it soon. All
Yes.
right.